Greetings, travelers, and welcome to an extra special episode 50 of WesterosCraft Walks with your foolhardy host, Dutchguard. In today's episode, we'll be taking a look at the castle Skyreach, the seat of House Fowler in Dorne. I've decided to start this video with an extra spectacular view of the Prince's Pass. Historically known as the Wide Way, the Prince's Pass is one of the only ways into Dorne and is one of the main reasons Dorne has stayed so independent throughout Westeros' history. And, well, it's a real beauty. You can see the Red Mountains on either side of me here. They form a narrow pass, a canyon, if you will, through the Red Mountains from the south of the Reach. And, well, it's just beautiful. It's bedecked in this lovely customized terrain set. These reds, oranges, and yellows really pop, and you can see these beautiful sand textures as well, which will lead further south into the unforgiving deserts of Dorne. But what we're looking at today is just up here. It is the Castle Skyreach, known as the Eyrie of Dorne, as you can probably tell, because it's perched high atop the Red Mountains here, and we're going to slowly make our way up and check it out. So as I said, Skyreach is the seat of House Fowler, which trace their lineages back to the first men who first settled here in Dorne and were the first kings of Dorne. They don't trace their lineage back to the Rhoynish, as most of the Dornish do. So it is quite an old house. It was actually built by the castle, or at least the first castle was built by the first men and carved into the stone of the Red Mountains here. And so it is a very old house, and it's got a prime location for guarding the Prince's Pass against the northern invaders. It's got a lovely little town that's perched up here as well, which we'll check out. And it's one of my favorite builds here in Dorne because it's got lots of high towers, which you don't really see all that much of in Dorne. But this is a nice example of that, using the Dornish palette as well as sticking to some of the more fluid and almost Vale-esque architecture styles that we might see elsewhere in Westeros. We're just making our way up this gravel path here. You can see again some of those beautiful custom textures. I know that we are looking for more Dornish builds. I've got a few requests for Dornish builds, that's why I'm doing this video. We'll probably go and check out Salt Shore pretty soon, which is a build that has just been completed and is a real beauty, so I definitely want to check that one out. But I thought for this episode I'd finally reveal the Prince's Pass, which, just look at it, is beautiful. The Red Mountains there were just painted so wonderfully, and they really just remind me of sort of the American Midwest, you know, the Rocky Mountains and sort of the red desert colors that you might get there. Right, so first actually let's check out this town here. Got sort of your standard Dorne houses sort of built with these bricks, probably to keep them from falling down the side of the mountain here. Got a lovely little render issue here. That'll probably sort itself out in just a second, but I thought maybe I'd check out one of these houses, see what we've got in here. Nice little Dornish hearth here, made out of clay and brick. We've got a nice little kitchen area here, a nice little bed made of thatch, and I like these little hatch windows as well. Obviously, ventilation is pretty important to the Dornish, so you won't really see much glass. You'll see probably lots of fenced-up windows, especially windows with little hatches like that. So really cool, nice little village, lots of really cool little details. Looks like we've got a nice little market area here as well, with a cart here selling some rabbits. Of course, we've got some oranges here as well. This looks like some pomegranates. All kinds of Dornish fare, if you would, what you might find typically in Dorne. Right, again, just a beautiful sweeping pass of this Prince's Pass here. You can see the more red sand here of the Red Mountains giving way to the yellower sand of Dorne. And if we were to continue south that way, we'd eventually hit those big dunes of Dorne. So now heading through the first gate, which is actually two portcullises here, of Skyreach. We're going out into the outer yard. We've probably got some stables out here. Yeah, I can see stacks of hay. Might have some kennels. We've definitely got a blacksmith here. We can tell by this forge and this anvil. And then we've got all these really cool towers, which I just think are really cool, and they're connected by these bridges. And you can even see a drawbridge there, which connects to the main keep. And I figured, why not? Why don't we go that way? Because that's way cooler. Although there is a way through that gate there to get up to the castle by this road, and you even pass under this really cool looking naturally formed arch. Just really reminds me of the Grand Canyon for some reason, and I think that probably was some of the inspiration behind this. So just heading up this tower here, we're probably going to find some barracks here after climbing up these ladders. I think I did scout this out before. Yeah, we're going to find some beds, I think, just up at the top here. For the guards that are keeping guard over the Prince's Pass, as well as, of course, Skyreach and the Fowler family. So yeah, I'm just going to have to keep making things up, because really there isn't a lot to say about Skyreach and House Fowler, besides it's got really awesome towers and some little bits of history about the family. You can see that's the main keep there, connected by this really awesome drawbridge here, which I'm about to cross. Really cool defensive little system here. It must be really difficult to try and attack this castle. Similar to the Eyrie, you know, not as impressive, as they are a smaller house, and we didn't want to make it, you know, rival the Eyrie in any way. But it is definitely partially inspired by, you know, the books tell us that Skyreach has these big, lofty towers. Right, so here we are inside the main keep. We're going out into this little courtyard here, which I just think is so pretty. You can see there's some grass growing here because we've got a water source. You can see some oranges or mandarins or whatever you want it to be in there. And it's a nice little sitting area under the shade. You can take a dip in the pool, you know, if you get too hot. You know, it's just living the Dornish luxury life. Of course, water here is a huge status symbol. So if you can afford, like, a pool in your castle, then you're pretty well off. You've also got some nice paintings here, some nice flower pots. You know, all the you know, the garnishings of a nice, wealthy Dornish household. Now, I did check this place out before, but I found that... Now, I know people are going to argue with me, but I think this place has the easiest to follow staircase system of any build I've been in before, and you know how much I struggle with stairs, but just check it out. Well, first, we've got this main entrance hall here, and more the sort of the main stair level. I think around down here, we've got some more storage, and perhaps a granary. This looks like perhaps the main audience chamber for the Lord of Skyreach to sit here and greet his subjects. And now just continuing to head up, we can see a nice little battle scene there, and a painting there. I just do love our custom paintings. I think they lend a lot to the atmosphere of our build. Here we've got the main feast hall of Skyreach. Beautiful, nice vaulted ceilings, and this long dining table for the Fowlers to eat and feast. Right, so heading right along. We're going to keep going up the stairs. Look at it. You know, I don't even have to look for them. They're right there. And here we've got a nice little rookery. I do love a rookery. You know, good for it. Got some chopping up some meat to feed the ravens, excuse me. And these windows to, of course, send them on their way and speak to the rest of the world. Right, so heading right along, I think we're going to find some noble chambers. Yeah, here we are. We can tell by the canopy there over the bed. We've got a nice little wardrobe here as well. We've got some books to read. I guess the Fowlers might be pretty literate. Who knows? They probably have a long and proud history. They'll probably think themselves better than some of the other Dornish houses. You know, just things we make up just to make it seem more interesting. Cool, we've got a nice little balcony here with, again, another canopy to shield whoever's sitting here enjoying their dinner from the blazing hot sun while enjoying a view of the Red Mountains here. They are really just beautifully stunning mountains in a non-traditional sense. You might see more of what we get in the Vale on most Minecraft servers, but something like that you just can't find anywhere else. Beautiful stuff. Really love it. Right, so... just going to keep going upstairs. Found another little bedroom here, less fancy, but all the same, pretty comfortable, pretty cozy. As I said, you're not going to see too many glass panes in Dorne, but again, you're going to see those fence blocks allowing for some ventilation to come in. Nice little noble chambers here again, lots of storage space, and I think in here as well. Again, just a beautiful view of those mountains there. Right, so heading up, I believe now we're getting near to the top level. Oh, we are on the top level. So you can see these custom, beautiful, they're carved stone window panes. They are, of course, not, you know, they don't completely keep the air out, but they are just a nice little detail that we decided to add to sort of spice things up here in Dorne. I've got some more paintings here. Looks like this must be the Lord's bedchamber. He seems pretty literate, as well as a bit of a drunkard, as judging by that keg there. And he's got a nice little place to sit and chill out and just get this awesome view of the Prince's Pass. Prince's Pass, definitely one of my favorite passes in the game. There is another way into Dorne, which we'll probably check out in a different video, called the Bone Way, which is much narrower and much more treacherous, but there is definitely another video for another day for that little part of Westeros. But anyway, guys, that's where I'm going to finish this episode off. As ever, I encourage you to check out this build. It's at /warp Skyreach. And I just want to thank you guys. This is 50 episodes. I can't believe we've got this far. I can't believe I haven't got bored of you guys. But let's keep it interesting. I'm going to try and get you guys a new episode out every Sunday to keep things fresh and up to date. I've got lots and lots of builds to catch up on. And as always, I'm open to suggestions. I want to explore as much of this amazing server as possible. And yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time for episode 51.